So, last one for today. This is from the Huffington Post, and nothing to close the day like some hardcore feminism. Germaine Greer attacks Elton John and David Furnish for deconstruction motherhood. For those of you who do not remember Germaine Greer, in the description below there shall be a link to one of Sargon's videos where she displays her magnificent intellect. God help us, this is from the Huffington Post. Germaine Greer has reportedly accused singer Sir Elton John and his husband Sir David Furnish of deconstructing the concept of motherhood. So, after feminism has deconstructed everything in society, now is the time to blame others for doing the same. They've deconstructed all the topics that they don't like, especially those of sexism and racism, to reframe them as only those under which they cannot be blamed. If you would notice, feminists can never be sexist or racist. They're perfect. The men are parents to sons Zachary and Elijah, who were both born to a surrogate. Referring to the fact that Furnish is listed on the birth certificate as a children's mother, Greer, who was speaking at the Hay Festival, said, "Sometimes I think that really the problem is the concept of motherhood, which we can't give any real structure to." Really? You can't give a structure to the concept of motherhood? And while you can't give it structure, you can be sure that it is being deconstructed. You totally did not contradict yourself. Sir Elton John and his wife, David Furnish, have entered on the birth certificate of their two sons that David Furnish is the mother. I'm sorry, that will give you an idea of how the concept of motherhood is emptied out. It's gone. It's been deconstructed. Well, that's the only logical conclusion of everything that feminism did. If the concept of fatherhood has been deconstructed and fathers are seen as useless, blundering idiots, men are seen as potential rapists, wife beaters, Germaine, as you have said yourself, and as child abusers, then the only next logical step is to deconstruct the concept of motherhood as well. If fathers don't mean anything, mothers can't mean anything unless your ideology has been completely bunk since the very beginning. The 76-year-old said, "We now have a genetic mother who supplies eggs. It depends entirely on where she is and if she's going to be allowed to know what happened to the eggs. And women tend to care. On the other hand, you imply that men do not care. Yes, these men look like they absolutely do not care about their children. They don't give a shit. Is it? You look like you care too much about other people's business. Just saying. An egg is not a sperm. Really? Really? Are you kidding? Are you a rocket scientist or biologist? No one would ever have guessed that an egg is not a sperm. We do not produce 400 million of them in one go. One miserable little egg pops every month. So freaking what? It's just because it's more efficient this way. It isn't... Do you know anything about breeding strategies? Do you know anything about anything? It's quite disheartening. Look at their pretty shoes. Cute little shoes. Then they give you the follicle-stimulating hormones, and you have 17 or sometimes eggs, or 17 or something, and they give you cut-price IVF and distribute the rest of your eggs where they see fit. Well, if both sides are consenting, I don't see a reason why not. The impetus of every living creature is propagating their genes. Donating eggs allows women to play at the same game that men are playing. Even more, a man couldn't spread his sperm to 17 women in a year. And now, women can do that in 1 month. And they don't even have to have sex with other people and lose their so-called respect or social standing. I mean, women literally get to have their genetic cake and eat it. It's amazing. Biology approves. In some places, you're allowed to know what happens to them. In others, you are not. Yes, because just the fact that you have donated genetic material doesn't make you responsible. That is not the making of a parent. A parent is someone who wakes up at 3 a.m. to check on you. As you have so often have reiterated about men. You say that just because men have donated sperm, they don't have to be the father. Right? That's what feminists kept saying. A woman needs a man like a fish needs bicycle. Your gynocentrism is way over in the deep end, and it's starting to lose touch with reality. I'm sorry, did we talk about this? Did we sit down and talk about what eggs mean to women? Did women appoint you as their official speaker? If a woman saw fit to donate her eggs, then we know damn well what those eggs mean to her. Sir Elton has not yet commented on Greer's remark, but he reacted with fury in March when Dolce & Gabbana designers Domencio Dolce and Stefano Gabbana stated they oppose gay adoptions. So we already know what he thinks about that. In an interview with the Italian magazine Panorama, the designer stated that they were, yes, that is immaterial. Translated. Yes, typical to people who come from a Catholic culture. Yeah, well, they are right about the thing that family is not a fad and it's not... Family is not an accessory. It's a means to an end. It's a means to ensure the survival of the offsprings in the safest material environment possible, to ensure that the offsprings would reach maturity and be able to propagate their genes in a maximal manner. That's the entire biological function of the family. So, if this accomplishes this, then they are biologically successful. How dare you refer to my beautiful children as synthetic, he wrote, and shame on you for wagging your judgmental little fingers at IVF, a miracle that has allowed legions of loving people, both straight and gay, to fulfill their dream of having children. Well, he's got that right, folks. The singer then added that he would no longer wear clothes by the designer duo. Yeah. Gossip. Germaine Greer, you're crazy. Stop people telling... Oh, got tongue-tied there. Stop telling people how to live their lives. You do not own them. You do not own the concept of motherhood. You might even want to say the concept of motherhood is a sort of social construct. Yes, it is emergent from biological reality, but as we can see, it has emerged in different forms throughout different cultures. You do not own it. You do not own other women's bodies. You do not own men's bodies. You do not own other people's autonomy. This is what you get for your deconstructionist, postmodernist drivel. It backfires. It always backfires. This is what you get when you Plato. Don't Plato, kids. Go Aristotle. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This has been Veer Media.